Design Wall Podcast, Episode 4, The Learner and the Bat. So, first game talking about this week is Batman! You know, Batman's cool, raspy apparently, according to the new movie. But that's not I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the game, Arkham City. So, first thing I'm going to discuss is the cinematics. Not the fully pre-rendered cinematics, you know. I'm talking about like the little ones, the in-game, the in-engine ones kind of thing. And those, I find Batman stands around quite a bit. And just stands. Doesn't move around. Doesn't, really do anything except for move his mouth and move his head a little bit. Oh, everyone else is like jumping around. Harley Quinn's dancing. Joker's doing his thing, what he does, drunken master. No, but, Freeze is saying they're shooting his frost gun. But Batman just stands there like, hey, don't do that kind of thing, right? And I disagree with that. I think Batman should be more animated. Not to the point like Harley Quinn, like, right? But he should be something else, because Batman has a personality, right? Batman is Batman. We know who he is. A lot of people, read the comics, watched the movies, all that great stuff. And what I think the developers were trying to do is make him a blank slate. Like, a lot of characters in games are blank slates, so that you, the player, can portray yourself onto that character and really feel more like the hero than what normally would happen with a fully characterized character. Characterized character. Yes, no way. But, blank slates like Master Chief or Link, right? Or Samus before they took off her helmet in the latest one. But Batman, he already has a personality, so I feel like he should be more animated in that sense. Next thing about Batman Arkham City, yeah, the second one, is the Riddler challenges. These are like the little mini achievements, like the barracks for Call of Duty kind of thing. Use your Batarang 3 times in a combo or something like that, right? And once you got the challenge, the words would pop up on the screen, and they would block your view, like completely block your view. Not completely, but enough that when I was playing it, I was like trying to look around the words, even though that would do nothing for me, right? Because obviously they're on the screen. You can't look around that. But I was trying anyways because it was blocking my view. Often it would break my combo. It would just get in the way, right? So, I don't know. Reason why they did this could be down to user testing again, right? This could be like before they had the little icon pop up being like, bloop, bloop. Where's the thing? There it is. That's the corner of the screen. Go bloop, bloop, bloop. Like, Riddler challenge complete, good job, kind of thing, right? But it didn't tell you what it was or anything about it, so people were like, well, what challenge did I complete, right? So maybe that's why they decided to put the big, bold words in there. But, it blocks the view, disrupts the combat. Next thing we're talking about is also about Riddler, is when you go into an area, you get a riddle that pops up, and it's like, asks you something. You gotta go scan the right thing to get the riddle, find the answer. And what happened was I'm not a very fast reader. I'm not particularly slow, but I'm not like all that fast. And the words disappear very quickly. And I'd be sitting there like, what was the other half of that riddle? I didn't quite catch that. The only way to figure it out was like, go back and then come in again, and hopefully it'd pop up and you'd be able to do it. But it was like a chore to figure out what the riddle was before I was able to even solve it. So I didn't end up doing many of those because I was like, this is ridiculous. Next thing is a mild spoiler. It's from about the middle of the game. It's nothing terrible, But if you don't want to hear it, I will do this when the spoiler is done. So, mute your volume, fast forward or whatever. But I'm going to talk about the fight with Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. But pretty much in this fight, when the end of it, we have the sand circle, like the big, huge pit you're at, and you're fighting him, and he has all those little clone guys running around. And as you're attacking him, sometimes at certain points, it would switch back to Batman fighting him in real life. I thought that was really cool. It's like, you're not just in a trance state, you're actually moving around, kicking this guy's ass, and there's like an illusion around you kind of thing, right? So you're really kicking his ass in real life instead of just, willpower or something. I thought that was really cool. And a little plot hole to go along with that is the part where you're flying around right before it, right? You fall on that blue path, gliding around. That area, to get there, you entered into a little tiny box room, right? How could you have been flying around like that when you're in a place like that, right? It's like plot hole, but totally worth it for the overall story. And I agree with making it like that. The next part, this next part, oh yeah, spoiler done. Okay, the next part I'm going to talk about, which is not part of Batman at all. So the next thing I am going to talk about is demos and the tutorials in demos that you usually see. Now, recently, I was playing not recently, quite a while ago, I was playing a racing game demo. I was like, look at it, it looks kind of cool, right? I can't remember what it was called, but it was the one where part of the map would blow up or buildings would fall and create new paths later on in the race. And as I was playing it, the game kept pausing me, telling me how to play. Yes, do that once maybe to tell me how to play the first time or let me read like a controller sheet or whatever. But after that happened, I figured out how to play and everything. I was like, okay, now let's go back and play through it, complete it how it's meant to be played, not with all these pause breaks. All right, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go replay it and figure all this awesome stuff out. You know what happened? The exact same thing. It paused my game over and over again, telling me the things that it already had told me, right? And I was like, what? Come on, yo, going through the options. Can't turn off tutorials or tooltips or anything like that. And by the end of it, I just didn't like the game. I was like, no, I can't actually play this game because it keeps pausing it and I can't get a feel for it, you know? So I think that demo was handled poorly. And that's what happens often in a lot of demos, right? And this stems from the first mission of campaigns being the tutorial mission. Because in a demo, you don't want to throw the player into like the end of the game or the middle of the game where it's really hard and they have all this stuff and you get overwhelmed and it's like, right? You want to put them at the beginning and you want to teach them how to play so they can get a good feel and a good, impression of your game. So what happens is that they do the first mission, which is the tutorial mission, right? And I personally just disagree with tutorial missions being the first mission because it just makes it so the big hook at the beginning of the game isn't all that good because it's like it's super easy, even though it's like huge explosion, it should be really hard to beat and all this crazy stuff. It's super easy and you never die because it's a tutorial and it keeps pausing you over and over again, even on like a second playthrough. So I personally prefer to have tutorials and campaigns broken up, right? And it's all sad they break up, but I think it's better. I think it's better that if they're completely separate options, you can have your big hook in the beginning of the game be something great, be something awesome and fun to play through. Even after you already beat the game, you're already good at it. It's not like, oh, this is a super easy part, whatever kind of thing. It's a good part because you already know how to play from playing through the tutorial. And the problem with that is that most tutorial things, they break the imagination, the illusion of the video game. If you have a separate tutorial, it busts it, right? It busts the context and everything. But I prefer to have a separate tutorial. Play the tutorial first, and then your first mission doesn't have to look like this. It can look like this. It can be flowing and much better to play through the first time, second time, third time, whatever. Instead of having a tutorial where it's like, pause, okay, whatever. And like, you'll play through it again. You're like, I don't want to play through the first mission. Yes, big explosions, cool. But it sucks because it's a tutorial. And I don't want to play through it after I've already beat the game once. So that, having tutorial being separate, I think is much better. Now, sign off. Yes. You want to reach me, feature ideas, comments, questions, whatever. designwallpodcast@gmail.com. The actual podcast version is up at designwallpodcast.wordpress and .libsyn.com. And then, YouTube, which you're at. And I don't know why it says pissed YouTube. I really don't. I drew this a couple days ago, and I don't know why it says that. It's like, where you currently are. Oh, psst. It's not pissed as I'm pissed. It's psst, YouTube. That's where you are right now. Probably. If not YouTube, great. You know, it's getting around. Publicity and all that stuff. But, yeah.